I guess the way that I would define project success is one that's completed on time, within budget, and to a high level of quality, and also safely. Well, I'd say during the design phase specifically, how engaged the contractor, the subs, and the owner can be during the design process definitely affects the success of a project. So that's during pre-construction. On the construction side of that, how engaged the architect and engineer can continue to be is also critical to the success of seeing that design intent and pre-construction process through into the field operations. I would definitely say that the owner's procurement method is probably the primary influence. The more collaborative the procurement method, the better. So procurement methods like CM at risk, design build, integrated project delivery, those allow the contractors and some design assist subcontractors to participate in the design process, and that directly translates to the success of any project. I'd say, like most anything else, breakdowns in communication, it definitely can lead to project failures, as well as lack of a clear understanding of what the owner's wants and needs are, and sometimes distinguishing between must-haves versus wants. Sometimes it gets down to that on certain projects, and making sure that you have those must-haves included in the design and in the budget. And then, of course, anything that results in any unsafe activity is a failure in my mind. I would say that on the design and budgeting side, when you start seeing a lot of change orders and RFIs in the field, those are good indicators of either an incomplete design or a miscommunication of design intent, or something that didn't make it onto the documents that probably should have from early on. And then on the safety side, on the operation side of things, incident tracking, reports, and your EMR are definitely those key metrics that you track on a safety perspective. I would say that in general, good project management starts in the pre-construction process, and it really is a culmination of harnessing the entire project team, the superintendent, the estimators, any sort of consultants that we may bring on board as general contractors. And a good project manager is going to be the one that can really herd the cats, get all of these resources and people together at the right points in time to accomplish the goals of the project. So that's really what I think is critical to the success of the job. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. On the estimating side of things, which is I think what most people think of when they think pre-construction, kind of synonymous. There's much more than just estimating though, by the way. We use on-screen takeoff for takeoff, obviously. We use Timberline, Sage Timberline for our historical cost database, so that we compare that takeoff with unit costs and create budgets or full-blown estimates. We use I²Foot for bid notification and solicitation to subcontractors to let them know that there's a bid out there. They can also view the plans and do some really rudimentary takeoff on that. Scheduling is another key component during pre-construction, so we're using tools like SureTrack and Primavera P6 on the scheduling side. Then we use your standard Microsoft Office suite, so Word and Excel still play a very big part in producing deliverables, reports, and binders for owners. And then on the BIM front, we use a whole lot of different tools. Revit for viewing of the 3D model and extracting some quantities. Navisworks for doing constructability review and clash detection on design models. We also, there's quantity takeoff built within Navisworks as well, so there's a little bit of a double dip. We utilize Autodesk Design Review so that our estimators can view the 3D model in tandem with the on-screen takeoff, so that as they're performing their takeoff, they also have a 3D view of what's going on. That's really important because early on in the design phase, not all of the sections, elevations exist just yet. Not all the plans exist, so they can see them all. I think that pretty well. Oh, and Google SketchUp for site logistics planning and integration with Google. Doing construction, we just really further a lot of the things that we did in pre-construction. So, but some of the estimating things drop off. But so SureTrack, we're still managing the project schedule in Primavera P6 or in SureTrack, and furthering that for construction. We're using tools like Constructware as our project management utility to, namely for submittals and RFI tracking, also document logs and things of that nature. Using FTP sites for BIM collaboration and for transferring of large files from one party to another. And then we're using Navisworks instead of for design coordination for shop drawing coordination of the MEP trades. And then lastly, I would say probably there's the whole mobile field management piece of it, which is utilizing of iPads out in the field for viewing of project documents, generation of quality control, commissioning, inspection, or safety checklists. Also tracking issues out in the field and assigning those to subcontractors throughout the construction process. Also has punch list utilities built into that particular application for managing the punch list process. And then lastly, viewing the model in the field, which is that last step of taking that coordinated model from the trailer out into the field where you actually need it. I would say anything that increases the amount of how much you collaborate on a project. So what I've noticed is tools like BIM have really sort of fostered sort of an environment for people to collaborate on. It's a talking piece, whether it's at the background or the forefront of a meeting. Also, I've noticed that the more access to information that folks have, the better off we're going to be for the project, as well as the more engaged folks are going to be. So iPads in the field, or even just having access to the project documents or any of the project information from a phone or from your tablet is going to help out as well. Yeah, those are the two biggies I see so far. I'd say first and foremost, don't skip the basics. Project management is project management, so understanding the fundamentals of that is key. So, the estimating process and project management processes aren't going to change necessarily in the way that you're still doing the same thing. You just have new tools to do that. So I think understanding those basics and being able to leverage BIM tools, technology, and even new hardware these days is going to be key. So just being able to keep up with the times. Yeah, I guess my advice would be that BIM is definitely here to stay. It's something that really began in earnest in about 2005, 2006, and has increased presence in the industry and has a dominant effect. And somewhere around 75% of all design firms and construction firms are using BIM right now, and that's only going to trend to be 100% within the next couple of years. So I would say use any opportunity you can. Take the BIM course if you have the opportunity to do that. Any sort of other industry training that affords a similar opportunity, I'd take that as well. And yeah, just try to get some exposure.